the enemy tanks have stopped. Why?
Thank you for being here with us today at DePelícula. And this is one of your biggest gigs. I mean, you get to work with Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
Did you get to know something about yourself that you didn't know before after working with him?
I think I just learned so much. I think just being on set and being around Chris and being around all these unbelievable actors and amazing cinematographers and crews, you just soak it up, I think, in general. So, yeah, I'm sure there is things that I learned about myself, but more it was just the learning process of it all, I think, that overwhelmed me the most.
Why waste precious tanks when they can pick us off from the air like fish in a barrel?
All your movies also, they teach you something about humanity and about humankind. What have you learned from the past years?
Well, I think with every film, you set out to express certain things. And you set out to sort of ask certain questions. And in the creative process and the process of collaboration with all of your fellow crew members and cast, you answer some of those questions. But I think if you've done your job right, each film leaves lingering questions that you try and keep addressing in subsequent work. And I think that every film has a relationship to me and my view of the world and human nature.
Where are we going? Dunkerque. I'm not going back. There's no hiding from this sun.
We don't get to see your backup stories, but did you guys make something up, or did Christopher tell you something?
I don't know, you have a uniform, but we had to make a decision about what we were going to wear.
Yeah.
So and Chris came to that costume fitting with the costume designer, and it was at that point that we talked quite a bit about what type of person they were. But you know, backstories are private. I think it's Robert De Niro who says he does all the research he does just so that when he's on set he feels he has the right to play that part more than anyone else, that he believes in himself. So it's really just what you need to believe. Children can get up and act a fireman without any backstory.
We have a job to do.
If we go there, we'll die.
I mean, we know you for doing sci-fi movies and for always asking yourself about the future. Why asking yourself about the past now?
I think for me it's really about, as a storyteller, looking for a gap in movies, for something that hasn't been done, a story that hasn't been told in modern movies. And Dunkerque is a story that, like most British people, I grew up with. I don't even remember the first time I heard about it. It's part of our culture, part of our heritage. But it hasn't been told in modern movies, and yet I think it's one of the great stories, great universal stories. And so, for me as a filmmaker, that was a tremendous opportunity that I really wanted to grab.
He's coming back round. He's coming back round!
Your movies and your storytelling is memorable. They're always memorable. Why do you think this one will be remembered for?
Well, I think if this film proves to be memorable, which obviously I hope it will, I would hope it would be for the way in which it uses the language of suspense and the suspense thriller to tell a larger story or to communicate a historical event that might have been told in any number of different ways.
You can practically see it from here.
What?
Home.
DePelícula.